Aries, Aries rising and Aries moon people. This is your weekly astrological horoscope for the week starting December 26th, 2016, the last week of 2016. Thank goodness. I'm kidding. So, quick reminder for you guys, your monthly astrology horoscopes for January are up, and the hour and 45-minute long lecture on 2017's astrology is also up for viewing if you'd like to check that out while you're doing your holiday driving. And for those of you who've been asking about classes, remember, registration for classes is on right now for tarot classes in January and for the astrology webinar in January, and you can do that at my website, integrativemysticism.com, the same place you would go to get a session with me, and there's always links below as well. So, what is going on with the astrology this week for you, Aries people? Well, we've got some, again, long-standing angles, week-long angles going on here. These energies are going to last about 5 to 6 days apiece, so we're going to definitely want to focus on them as the background noise of the week. And the first such, I guess you could say, angle shows up on the 26th, on Monday, when Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, and good fortune, in your 7th house of partnerships, forms an opposition to Uranus, currently in your sign. And this is always an interesting angle to look at, because we are put on the spot, and we are also getting what we want, if that makes sense. So when we're talking about being put on the spot and getting what we want at the same time, that's sort of, for you, it's going to come from a partner. It's going to come from one of your closest one-on-one relationships, a boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, business partner, spouse. And when I say put on the spot, well, you know, it's time to see that your partner is listening. You know, they're going to be turning around a lot and saying, well, you know what, Aries, we're going to be doing what you want this week. You know, whether you have some requests, you have some bright ideas, or maybe even some critiques, we're going to do it your way. But the reason we're put on the spot is we might not be ready to, I guess you could say, be the captain. Might catch us off guard a little bit this week. How do we use this chance effectively? Getting everything that we want. Can we actually be in charge when our partner puts us in charge? And that's how we're getting put on the spot. Later on this week, we've got Saturn, the planet of restrictions, the planet of order, and sometimes a little bit of struggle, forming a tense square to Chiron, the celestial body, the asteroid that basically talks about our unfinished emotional business. You know, it's our baggage, essentially. Some people call it the wounded healer to be nice about it, but it is our baggage. And when Saturn and Chiron form a square, it's between your 9th house of your worldliness, your higher spiritual understanding, your higher education, your expansiveness, as well as, you know, Chiron in your 12th house, the area of your past, your area of unfinished business, sometimes having to deal with your roots, and again, it's also a very spiritual space. I would not be surprised if we have to confront some kind of issue where our personal experience or our personal growth leads us to maybe go down a path that is contrary or perhaps even controversial to a spiritual path or a family tradition or a political leaning in your immediate group. Okay, this does spark a bit of controversy because something blows the lid off of a philosophy or an idea that you've held dear in this area. It's not the end of the world, it might actually not even be that bad, but I think it changes the way you're going to be able to relate to other people of that ilk. And if we can get over that, it's perfectly fine, but if they're not able to get over it, there could be some tense discussions. So what is going on this week in your cards? Well, we do have for your spiritual advice the card of the Blood Month. Okay, a lot is for keeps this week, and the Blood Month card is basically talking about making sure that we are not, again, assuming roles or taking on putting something on the table that we are not serious about. Because everything's going to be taken very seriously with this energy. Almost as good as a blood vow, hence the name of the card. And if you are, you know, again, maybe put in charge of your relationship, being put on the spot, look, you've got a lot you want to say, Aries, you have a lot you want to get done, well here, put up or shut up. This card is basically saying the last thing you want to do is not do that, because the Blood Month card is basically saying what you accept and what you reject, again, maybe for keeps this week. So pay attention to where we might accidentally do too much maybe we don't take that as seriously as we should during these kinds of energies. But this week, you know, again, just be a lot more mindful of that. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Eight of Cups upright. And this card, honestly, is talking about a wonderful opportunity for those of you who are looking to move for work. Maybe some of you have been trying to travel for a job, maybe you want to work out of state, you want to work out of the country, or you've been looking for business connections that are maybe in a more intangible way, maybe online, making business connections at a distance, or making connections with other businesses, other alliances, collaborations like that. This is a great card for you because the Eight of Cups is saying there is a call to heed. One of the nice things about the Eight of Cups, though, is that those of you who have been looking for a way to get out of your current economic situation, whether you're trying to leave a job you don't like for a better one, or you are looking to leave a job, or maybe just go out and leave a situation where we have not been able to take on the job that we want, the Eight of Cups upright is saying that whatever this roadblock is, whatever this unfinished, whether it's paperwork or unfinished requirements, unfinished standards, those are all getting cleared up this week as well. And remember, this Mercury retrograde's in your 10th house. It's about reconsiderations. It's about taking things off the table that are getting in our way. And so there's going to be a lot of economic freedom in it for you Aries people. For your communications with air when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the Six of Pentacles inverted. And so I am feeling like this week a lot of you Aries people are going to be doing a fair share of turning down. Okay? And again, it's okay, especially if you need this to stop for good. Because sometimes this card shows up where we need to pay attention to when somebody is maybe taking a bit of advantage of us. Maybe we have been, babying them a bit too much. Maybe we have been, we've been sort of a bit more codependent in the way we are, we are giving them too much where they could provide for themselves. And it's a time to think about cutting somebody off. Now this might be cutting off in not like a personal way, not in a mean, insulting way. But sometimes you gotta cut your kids off. Sometimes you gotta, cut off that sister or that brother who's, constantly, asking for handouts and things like that. And it's not meant to be mean, it's not meant to be cruel, but, sometimes people are too busy looking for the easy freebies, and I think that this week, you're probably gonna get tired of that. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the King of Swords upright. Okay, so the King of Swords as a challenge in general does again talk about the need to pay attention to the technicalities. Again, pay attention to what is going on paper. Because with the King of Swords, just like that Blood Month card, a lot gets taken seriously and for keeps. Okay, so that might be something to pay attention to. What if you, accidentally maybe throw something out there to somebody who takes you too seriously? Instead of it being a hypothetical, they think that you're forming a plan. Be very careful about how you actually go about sharing that information. Okay, not everyone's going to be a good sounding board this week, certainly not full groups. The King of Swords as a person, though, could also show up as somebody who's just a tad too rigid, somebody who's a tad too attached to things like rules and a tad attached to things like technicality and bureaucracy. And this again might show up in your professional sphere, or maybe in any sphere where you have contracts or money involved. Most likely an air sign, an Aquarius, Gemini, or a Libra, or somebody with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra rising or moon. But I do think that, again, this person's love or fetish for the rules might actually prove to be a bit of a frustration. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Seven of Cups inverted. This is a really nice card to get for those of you who are trying to become exclusive with somebody that maybe we've been dating on and off again. Maybe we've been trying to have a romantic situation with somebody, but it's been a bit casual. We don't know where we stand. We want to know if this is going to be something that, again, stays or goes. We finally have conclusiveness this week, thank goodness. We have conclusiveness with the Seven of Cups inverted. What I also like about this is that everyone, single, dating, coupled, is going to be getting more time with their sweetheart this week. Because the Seven of Cups inverted is talking about getting rid of unnecessary distractions, getting rid of unnecessary obligations, getting rid of unnecessary energy pulls and energy drains going on with this couple. And that could actually be a really nice thing for you and your sweetheart to finally actually get that time to take for yourselves and with each other. So that is your forecast, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.